The use of rounded corners and edging is a very common occurrence for base units and maybe for a breakfast bar. That's no problem, as Paul now goes on to describe.
This application has been designed to work with a 30mm collet. The collet is the guiding ring on the end of the router, and a 1/2 inch router bit, 2 flute or interchangeable blade. What we will be needing is a jig and the edging. The edging has been thermoformed into the shape of the desired curvature, and it has also got the curve to fit in where the collet guide goes. Position the jig in the required place. Remember, you are taking 6mm off, or whatever distance you choose, to the edge of the worktop to be replaced by 6mm. This is a plant-on method only. Because we're going into the surface here, what we don't want to do is create a little step or 3 steps. As you plunge down, you might not get the router in exactly the same place. You go down it again, you might step again. So the way to combat this is the way I'll demonstrate now. Now what we're going to do is just plunge as normal. We've already got the straight cut, so we don't have to worry about stepping. What we've got to do now is reverse into the post form from point A, then cut from point B. Now what we need to do is reverse into the post form, doing a single cut .
After machining, remember to derag the cut edge. Then we offer up the end cap material, checking for a really good tight fit. Then it's time for cleaning, gluing, and clamping. Finishing of the rounded edge is firstly achieved by trimming, then using the 3mm round over bit to restore the factory edge on the top, the bottom and the sides as needed, and then finally sanding with the orbital sander, going up through the grits as we have done before, remembering to keep the orbital sander flat against edges to minimise round over, and finally finishing off with a Scotch-Brite pad. Creating a right and left-handed edged breakfast bar is really simple using the jig. Firstly, mark along the edge of the jig on both sides, flip it over, and following the tram lines that you've already marked, align the edge of the jig at the other end against the worktop end. Check alignment of the tram lines you've already made. Mark the new position on both sides. This now becomes your guide to allow you to reposition the template at both right and left hand edges and perform the cuts as before.
Now what I've done is I've paired the curved edging on one side, dry fitted and taped. This is so I can now attach this one, mark and cut. Now that this piece has been cut, I'll offer this up to do a dry fit, make sure I'm happy with it, and we're ready to glue.